It started like any other morning. Then, people noticed something impossible in the center of the city. A giant red button stood there for everyone to see. Curious crowds quickly gathered around the mysterious object. Nobody had ever seen anything like it before. The button rested on a strange metallic pedestal. Beside it stood a simple sign. The sign contained only three words: "Do not press." People stared at the message in complete confusion. Some thought it was an advertising stunt. Others believed it was an elaborate prank. A few guessed it was promoting a new movie. But nobody claimed responsibility. There was no logo anywhere on the structure. No one offered an explanation. There were absolutely no clues. News of the button spread across the city. Reporters rushed to cover the strange discovery. Soon, live broadcasts were streaming worldwide. Scientists arrived to investigate the object. Engineers carefully examined every detail. Advanced scanners searched for hidden mechanisms. The entire world watched with fascination. The giant red button became a global mystery. Questions flooded in from every corner of the planet. Everyone wanted to know why it shouldn't be pressed. The warning only made people more curious. Thousands traveled to see the button in person. Online discussions exploded with theories. Live streams of the button went viral. Millions watched day and night. Social media filled with endless speculation. Some believed it was alien technology. Others suspected a secret government experiment. A few claimed it came from the future. But nobody truly knew the answer. Scientists performed their first detailed scan. Then they scanned it again to be sure. Both scans revealed nothing unusual. Engineers decided to move the button. It refused to move even a millimeter. Heavy machinery was brought to the scene. A massive crane prepared for the task. Workers attached powerful cables to the structure. The crane pulled with all its strength. The cables stretched tighter and tighter. Suddenly, one of the cables snapped. The crane failed to move the button. The giant red button remained exactly where it was. Days passed without answers. The mystery only seemed to grow larger. Weeks went by, yet nobody could explain the button. Crowds continued growing every single day. Tourists traveled from around the world to see it. The giant red button became the world's biggest obsession. But one question remained. What happens if someone presses it? The crowd waited, watching in silence. Then one day, a man stepped forward. He slowly walked out from the crowd. Nobody knew who he was. He looked like an ordinary person, but he was about to make a dangerous decision. News cameras immediately focused on him. Millions of people watched live. Security guards noticed him moving closer. He started walking toward the button. Security shouted for him to stop, but he kept going. The crowd fell completely silent. His heart raced with every step. Step by step, he moved forward. He was getting closer to the button. Almost there. Finally, he stood directly in front of it. Up close, the button looked even larger. For a moment, he hesitated. Could it be dangerous? Could it cause a disaster? Could it change everything? But curiosity won. Slowly, he reached out his hand. His hand moved toward the button. His finger moved closer. Closer. Even closer. This was the final moment. Click. The button had been pressed. Nothing happened. 1 second passed. Then 2 seconds. Then 10 seconds. People looked around in confusion. Some started laughing. Had it all been a prank? Relief spread through the crowd. Then, suddenly, the sky darkened. The laughter stopped instantly. A strange humming sound echoed through the city. People looked up in confusion. Dark clouds began forming above them. The clouds spread across the sky at an impossible speed. The air suddenly felt different. Heavy. Something felt terribly wrong. Then glowing lights appeared above the clouds. Thousands of lights filled the sky. They moved in perfect formation. Like technology far beyond anything humans had ever created. Slowly, the lights began forming shapes. The crowd watched in complete silence. The shapes transformed into giant letters. A message was appearing in the sky. The final word took shape. Test complete. The entire world watched in shock. Nobody spoke. Nobody moved. What test? Who created it? Why did it happen? Then, just as suddenly as they had appeared, the lights vanished. The clouds disappeared. The sky returned to normal. The next morning, scientists discovered something strange. Every clock on Earth was exactly 1 minute ahead. No one could explain the anomaly. Scientists launched new investigations. Meanwhile, satellites detected mysterious signals from deep space. The signals contained patterns unlike anything ever recorded. For years, researchers tried to decode them, but no answers were found. Governments launched investigations of their own. The button remained silent. Then one night, it disappeared. It was gone without warning. Years passed, but the mystery remained. People debated what had really happened. Some returned to the alien theory. Far beyond Earth, something watched. In a distant location, a giant screen displayed a message. Human curiosity test. Passed. A shadowy figure looked at Earth for a moment. Then it turned away. If you had been standing in front of that button, would you have pressed it?